everybody, welcome back. It's Justy, and today is literally the day after Ace Comic Con. It was supposed to be my rest day, but here we are. I'm filming a video because I'm so displeased with what happened. It's a shame, really. From pretty much very beginning right up until the end, Ace Comic Con has been a disappointment in huge proportions. I'm still pretty upset with some of the stuff that's happened, and I didn't know if I wanted to talk about it just yet, but I think it's important that I do, that people know stuff like this happens, and so people can make educated decisions about visiting this con in the future. Obviously, you can take whatever I say with a grain of salt, and if you want to go to Ace Comic Con, go, please, live your dreams. But I will never, ever, ever be attending an Ace Comic Con again. They could offer me the entire Marvel platter, and I probably would not go. So that's me, and this is the first time I've really sworn off a convention. I've never done this before. I was displeased with Anime Revolution, and it's not my favorite con, but I'll go back to see friends. I will probably never touch Ace Comic Con again. There are several things that make this not a great convention. Not well run, not well anything, really. So I'll take it from beginning to end as to what happened, so you guys can know what's going on and know that this type of stuff could happen to you, in theory. I don't know how many people it happened to at this convention, so. I bought a ticket to Ace Comic Con when me and Steph had decided we were not going down to a Florida convention, so I had some extra saved money. And I found out that Chris Evans would be going. Now, Captain America is so incredibly important to me. It's my favorite MCU superhero. I love Captain America. I love Chris Evans. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's really ridiculously expensive. It's crazy overpriced. I don't like Ace Comic Con's prices. I think they're unfair. Let's get that out from the get-go. I think it's nonsense. I think any con that charges this amount of money is nonsense. But I was like, I'll pay it for this one time, this one chance to meet this very important person to me. And then I just won't do it again, and that's fine. So I do it. I pay the, $50, which is American, so 60, 70 Canadian for the ticket, and then 200, and then plus extra for the conversion for the photo op. And I'm like, fine, okay, cool, I have my stuff. And then a few weeks later, Chris Evans cancels, which I'm sure a lot of people heard of. Now, I don't blame Chris for this. Chris has had a lot of shitty stuff happen to him at conventions, so really I'm not surprised he doesn't love going to them. And I believe it was like a family emergency, he said, and that's just the way life is. Sometimes they can't come, and I don't blame him whatsoever for that. I was disappointed, but such is life. Ace, instead of offering me a refund when they are unable to provide me the service that I paid for, says that you have to switch to a different either photo op, whatever, or upgrade to something more expensive. I paid to go see Chris. I recognized Chris Hemsworth was there, I recognized Tom Hiddleston was there, lots, those are the big ones that had also been announced at that time, nobody else was really announced. And I like them, and they're important too, but I paid to go see Chris. That is the service I paid for, and Ace is no longer providing that to me. I did not expect my con ticket back. I wouldn't have. I would have caught that loss and just not gone. But I wanted Chris's photo shoot back. And they said you had to switch. So I wasn't going to lose $200. And I do love Loki. I do love Tom Hiddleston. So I was like, fine. Okay, you know what? I'll switch to Tom Hiddleston. And that's who we'll go and see. That's great too. It's not Chris, but that's fine. The thing that was really concerning and was kind of a first red flag about this con is they said you can switch to these other photo ops, Chris or Tom, even though they're full. We'll let you still switch. So while I'm doing this, I'm concerned about, okay, they're full. So am I going to show up on the day and them cut it off at some point because there's too many people? Or what? Because at this point, they're clearly overselling these events. So I switched. It's a good thing I didn't switch to Chris Hemsworth because he canceled later. But then, think about that. Now all the Chris Hemsworth people have to switch to other photo ops, other events, other upgrades, whatever they did, whatever they chose. And yes, at this point, there's more celebrities to choose from. You are still giving out passes to sold out photo ops and whatever else. Overselling. And honestly, if they're this easy about just giving them out instead of doing refunds for people, I'm pretty sure they oversold the photo ops and the autographs and whatever in the first place before even transferring people like this. I have a feeling that's the type of con this is. It's clearly a money grab. I'm sorry. It is. That's what it is. And you'll see it as I continue on with this as to how that's true. Oh, I'm getting frustrated. I'm trying not to like be aggressive. I'm just trying to tell what happened, leave out like a lot of emotions. I want this to be slightly detached. It's not gonna be because I'm so angry, but it's fine. Kind of added on frustration to this swapping thing also was I bought an early group for Saturday so I could kind of go down, could meet Chris, maybe see a few vendors and then leave. That was my plan. Because these other photo ops were sold out, but they're making me switch to them, I got put into the very last group, the very end of the day. So that was really frustrating too. But I was gonna deal with it. So comes the day to go down. I'm driving to Seattle. Drive goes fine. That's lovely. I find the parking garage, which on the website advertised parking as $20 for the event in the center's parking, which the center is a really terrible location. It's a really terrible venue for a con, I think, which I'll talk about more when I get to the part where I'm inside. But I mean, I guess that's what they chose. But I feel like if you're charging people, you know, $500-600 for VIP special tickets, you can afford a better center. I'm sorry. You can't. So I get there, I pull into the parking garage expecting to pay $20. I pull up. The lady says, "What time are you leaving?" I say, probably around 6, right? My photo op is at 4:45. It's going to take some time to get in, get out. 6 is a good bet. And she says, "Oh, well, if you leave by 5, it's $20. You know, that's not what the website said. It said $20 event parking. But I don't really have a choice. I'm already in the parking garage. So I say, okay, well, how much is it past that? And she goes, well, it's all day after that, and it's $45. So I have to pay $45 to park at this event. And I recognize the parking garage is belonging to this event space, this Wamu Theater. This is not Ace Comic Con's parking lot, but Ace Comic Con advertised it as $20, and they chose this event space. So I was already not happy about my $45 parking space. There's a pretty hefty list, and we're not even in the convention yet. To get in, you have to go through metal detectors, they go through your bags, which is fine. I get that safety, that's not upsetting. They don't let DSLR cameras in. But apparently this is a very spotty rule. There are several people who had theirs taken away, told they have to get a locker and lock it up. The dude who let me through looked right at mine and went, okay. So one, that's a dumb as heck rule. Sorry, that's stupid. Cosplay photographers are not going to be able to get in to take photos, people who take photos at events. Literally me who does vlog and cosplay spotlight, I was worried I wasn't going to be able to bring my camera in. For what purpose? I don't know. The only thing I could think of is people were worried about them taking pictures of celebrities. The celebrities are always behind curtains for their photo op. Like, what was I going to do? You know? And honestly, if someone's going to want to take a photo of a celebrity without paying, they'll figure a way. They'll use their cell phone. They'll use a crappy point and shoot, which you're allowed to bring in. So really, I don't know what you're stopping. But I got mine in, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I got a nice guy, if he didn't know the rules or what, but it's really inconsistent rule following, and that's nonsense. Another thing was apparently you weren't allowed any outside food and drink. My dude also let me bring in my bag of licorice that I openly was like, yeah, there's an open bag of licorice here. Whatever. And yet a woman in front of me trying to go in who had bought a water bottle inside for $5, by the way. Food was so overpriced, it was ridiculous. Her $5 water bottle she had bought inside, brought out with her, well, I guess she had a cigarette, I don't know what she was doing. She stood right there, she came back in, they took the water bottle from her. She could not bring it in. You could not bring your own water bottles to fill up at taps, nothing. You had to purchase their food if you were staying inside. And they started to run out of food pretty quickly. So that's cool. Can't bring in my food, can't buy your food. That's sick. And the area we were in really didn't have that many options for restaurants or food or anything. So, okay, so we're just not going to eat. There's lots of inconsistent rule enforcing and following the whole day. Like, they let me out and in one door, and then I came back to the same, and they're like, no, it's a rule now. You can't use this door anymore. And I was like, I literally just used this door. But whatever. Fine. The venue was not great. There was no panel rooms or event rooms. There was a big main stage in the middle of everything, and then a smaller stage in the middle of like where the vendors were. So you didn't get to separate for other things. There was still lots of noise while you're trying to watch this stuff. And they broadcasted the main stage over near the photo op area, which, like, in theory sounds good, so you can hear what's going on, except that sometimes would be playing, and then the guy would be announcing lineups to go in for the photo op, and you couldn't hear him. Like, what? The vendors hall was super small. They didn't really get anybody. There was an okay variety, and the vendors there were fine. I don't have anything against the vendors. Ace did a terrible job of getting vendors. And the programming was pretty much non-existent. In fact, I saved my programming sheet. One second. Here it is. One-sided. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is less than one day at Emerald City. And you're thinking, Justine, oh, it's a smaller, newer convention. If they're charging me a ridiculous amount to get into their convention, they can afford to have programming. This is nothing. This is a con that wants you to come and meet celebrities. They want to make their money off you, and that's it. This is nonsense. You know, there was hours when absolutely nothing was going on. They had a kids stage where 2 events happened in a day. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's the programming. Now, they gave you nice times as to when things would start, which is helpful. You think that's cool, that's great. Except because they oversold everything, every single panel, photo op, autograph, except for the first few, were late. For example, my photo op was 4:45 in the evening. The lineup was supposed to start at 4:15, where you actually go into the area and wait. We did not get into that area until pretty much 5 o'clock. And then you're still waiting in there to go in and do the photo. That's just to make the line, because they oversold the autographs, and he didn't leave the autographs till super, super late. Same thing with everybody. Tom Holland at one point was running 2 hours late. The panel at the end of the day before the cosplay contest at 6:15 that had Sebastian, Tom, and Anthony Mackie started incredibly late, and started with Sebastian only because the other 2 were running so late because they overbooked everything. So I couldn't stay and watch the cosplay contest because by the time that panel ended, it was crazy late, and I had to drive 2 hours back to Canada. So I didn't get to see my friends go up, and I'm sorry. I hope they did great, but that was unfortunate. It's not hard to stick to a schedule. It isn't. Emerald City does it all the time with actors. So, and I feel bad. I don't know if those actors got decent breaks, if they were constantly running late and constantly making it to all these things. Tom is there all weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this guy is meeting people, doing autographs, and doing his panels on Sunday. That's a lot of flipping work. And the fact that he may not get proper breaks or gets shorter breaks because there are so many people waiting, and if he doesn't move, the people who got oversold don't get photos, like, that's ridiculous. Honestly, I would rather not have gotten a ticket in the first place, like, not have been sold because it's sold out, than to get one and not get what I'm paying for. You know? Like, I realize I get a photo, but you don't really get the experience, which I'll talk a lot more about the photo op when we come. There's a little bit more before that, right? How could there be more? There is. The lighting inside the building was awful. I don't know what the heck they were doing. It was super orange in the vendors hall. And then out front, where they had the main stage, because where you entered in the main stage in this area was all one thing. The lights were on for a while, and they had this little, like, red carpeted, you could sit there, and as well there's a little photo opportunity set up, which is really cute, until they turned off the lights in that room. And you'd think that was just for a panel. Oh, they turn the lights off during the big main stage panel while that's up so everybody can see, and then the lights come on when it's done. No, the lights stayed off. It was dark. You could not take any photos except in like very specific locations. And then this little hallway area between the vendors hall and the main entrance and the main stage where there was like the food options really, that was pitch black the whole time except for like a couple blue lights. I don't know why. It was super dark. That's pretty dangerous in my opinion. I don't understand. Why were the lights off everywhere? That doesn't make any sense. Like, this venue is clearly not designed for conventions. It was a very terrible decision. And honestly, like, would have been made better if they had just flicked the light switches, but that's fine, I guess. So finally comes time for my photo op, which is super late, and I spend forever in line, which, I mean, it's fine. The line is something I expect, but obviously it's a little longer than normal as it's oversold. And I have my big dragon floaty. That's part of my costume that I'm going to go in, and I was going to ask Tom to wear it in the photo. I was hoping it would make him laugh. I was hoping it would make him smile. It'd be a cute photo that like nobody else had. I was really excited. So we get in. You have to go through like several points where there are people who can see and talk to who work at Ace Comic Con. Everybody talked to me about my floaty because everyone's like, what is that? Like, why are you wearing this? Ha ha ha. Nobody said anything about it being a problem. So I get in, I'm in the final little curtained area where I can see him, and it's almost my time to do a photo op. And a girl ahead of me gets to bring up these 2 prop signs and have him hold them. So I come up, I've been very prepared. I recognize this has to be fairly quick, so I've taken the floaty off, I've got it kind of to the side, so I can immediately hand it over and be like, hey, can you just boop, pop this up your hips, and then we're done. The guy stops me and says, you can't bring this. And I said, what? Like, why? And he looks me in the eyes as this woman is still taking her photo with her props, which, like, I don't blame her, but she's doing it, and says, no props. And takes my dragon from me. Like, he takes it out of my hands. And I've seen other photos with props that have come out of these sessions. So I can't really argue, because, I mean, they can just kick me out, right? And I recognize that Tom has a lot to do and I don't want to cause problems. So the guy kind of pushes me towards Tom, which I'm ticked off about as well. I don't enjoy being pushed. I don't enjoy having somebody I don't know put their hands on me. So I go up and I get beside him and I turn towards the camera, I get my arm around him, and they don't even really give me a second to smile. I literally turn, I look at the camera, they go, okay, click. So I look like I don't want to be there in my photo with Tom, which makes me so sad because he is someone I look up to, and despite the fact that I did want this convention for Chris, I was, you know, excited for the chance to meet someone like him, and I don't think I'll ever get that chance again. And they ruined it for me. They did. It was so oversold that you didn't even get a chance to wave at him. You know, like, these photo ops are always very quick. I know that. I expected that, don't get me wrong. Usually they give you a second to, like, say, hey, or hand over whatever you want to hand over for the photo, like they did to the girl ahead of me. They pushed me in and gave me not even a second. Tom got to smile and laugh at my Loki. He enjoyed it, which was nice. I honestly, that was it. I wanted to make him smile with my stupid outfit. And I look like I hate everything in my photo. And I've never looked so sad when meeting someone I admire, which is something I put on the post of this photo on my Instagram. Like, other photo ops haven't gone perfectly, you know. Seb looks confused in every photo I met of him because he accidentally started recording first, and I thought that was funny. You know, I've met Misha Collins, and that was very quick. You didn't get a lot of time, but they at least let me say hi and do a proper pose and smile. They let me smile. Paid $200 to look pissed off in a photo with Tom Hiddleston. Trying really hard not to cry. which is stupid. I know it's just a photo, but it's the opportunity that was taken away from me, you know? I don't want to ruin this look. So, I got my photo and I did the last panel of the day, the one that was incredibly late with all 3 actors, and then I went home. I enjoyed getting to spend time with friends. That was great. I got to see people I haven't seen in a long time. I got to meet new people. I got to talk with other Loki cosplayers, which is amazing. I haven't seen so many Lokis in one place at one time in a long time. People got really excited if they knew Avengers Academy, and that was really fun. And people who didn't asked me about it, and I got to explain it, which was great. So overall, like, I had an okay day. I did not hate the whole day. I was not unhappy the whole day. But the con itself is not a good con. It is a money grab. I will say it. That's what it is. And I will not go back. I guess it's a little more serious than other videos that I've done. I'm sorry about that, but it was something I had to get off my chest. I wanted people to know that this sort of stuff is happening at this convention, so if possible, they can avoid it if they want to. Obviously, if you still want to go, like, go. I'm never going to fault someone for going to it, but I don't think we should support them. I think it should be made clear that this type of stuff shouldn't be acceptable, and that they should fix it. Other conventions do a great job and have big celebrities, you know? It's not hard. You treat your customers like people, maybe, is a good start. I don't know. I honestly, at this point, would rather fight my way into getting a San Diego Comic-Con ticket, which is like the hardest thing on the planet to do, and it's such an expensive trip. But I'd rather do that than ever go near an Ace Comic-Con again. So, they've lost me. Don't know how many others they've lost, if they've lost any at all. Don't know if they'll ever even care. It's irrelevant. I will not be going back. Thank you so much for watching this rant video. I'm sorry. Probably not the most fun, but I felt it was important. Leave me a comment about your Ace experience if you went to Ace Comic-Con, either this one or I believe there was one other in like Arizona or something. Was it better for you? Was it not? If you've never been, let me know your worst convention experience. I'm wondering, maybe I'm alone. Maybe I'm the only one who suffers. Just kidding. I know there's probably other stuff. But, yeah, I'm going to cut it off here before I cry on camera or do something dumb. I will still be posting the cosplay spotlight. It's going to be very short because I was only there for one day and it was really hard to take a new video in the lighting. And then my vlog, those will still be going up. Especially, I thought that was important for people who were waiting for the spotlight, who I gave the card to. But I felt it was important to do this video first. So that's the order it's gonna be. Hopefully you guys don't get totally turned off by this negative kind of video. You know, whatever, I don't know what to call it. Hopefully I see you guys next time. Bye!